everything you've been told our whole lives is probably a lie. And now I look at everything. Oh, everything I've been told is a lie. And just look at it that way and then try to figure out what's true and what's not. And you go, yeah, we've been told, oh, you got to eat all these different things. No, you don't. No, you don't. In fact,
Miami, how did you find carnivore?
probably like a lot of people, Joe Rogan. Um, I was, so I'm 68, and ever since I was a teenager in school, I had dandruff, what I thought was dandruff around the back of my neck and my ears, which I know now was psoriasis. And by the time I was in my early 20s, I never wore dark shirts, always white, because, it's embarrassing. It looked like snow. By the time I was in my 30s and 40s, it was really bad. Put oil on your head at night and let it sit and then scrape it out, kind of stuff. So that kind of went away a little bit. And then about 10 years ago, I started getting it like on my arms. I don't know if you can see spots, like little white spots would get up on my arms. And then in the last 5 years, it went down on my legs, started going up my legs. I've seen guys on your podcast and I've seen other people talk about it where it gets up on your legs and then it goes up on your hips and then it goes up on your back. And I'm starting to go, this is really itchy at night, keep you awake. And I'm going, this is getting old. Tried. Oh, geez, I can't tell you how many things I've tried. And then I even went to a doctor, which we don't do doctors at all. Never. I mean, if I broke an arm, maybe, but don't do doctors. So I went to a doctor and he said, oh, here, take these antibiotics. I go, I knew that wasn't what it was. I took them, but I knew that wasn't what it was. And then I saw Joe Rogan talking to somebody about it. And then Jordan Peterson got on that one, started doing the research like everybody does, and got on. And Jordan and both of them talked about not only the psoriasis, but acid reflux. I've had acid reflux my whole life too. So I started on the 10th. Oh, we're on 4 months. We just passed 4 months. So the acid reflux is almost gone. If I do stupid stuff like today, I took my wife out for Mother's Day and I ate brisket, but I put the sauce on it. And so I'm feeling that in my stomach. But I have not eaten hardly anything but ribeyes at lunch. I eat a ribeye at lunch. And then I drink a shake. I make a protein shake, like milk, ice, milk, cream, whipping cream, and protein powder. And I'll do that for breakfast, and then I'll do that for dinner because we like sitting as a family with my 2 boys. I got grown boys that live here. In fact, I'm on my son's a YouTuber, so I'm on his. That's why the green screen. That's because I'm on his stuff, right? Yeah, and so we like sitting at a dinner table together as a family. We always have. So I like to sit with them. So I make a shake at night too, but I put ice cream in it. So I still do ice cream. So, but the psoriasis is 95% gone, which is unbelievable to me. It's the change it's made in just every day. It's incredible. And the acid reflux. So, and all the other little things that go along with it that you don't know about or you don't hear about, even when you start looking at watching stuff like yours and other people's, you go, I keep calling my wife. My wife does not eat meat. She's been not a vegetarian, but sort of for 15 years or so. And my youngest son doesn't eat meat. My oldest son does. So usually I'm sitting there with a T-bone and they're eating baked potato and broccoli. And I'm going, yeah. But yeah, so it's worked out great. I've been super happy with it. So, yeah.
Wow. Congratulations. So 4 months in, do you see this as being something that you'll just continue with permanently?
Yes, absolutely. Don't see I can see myself when this clears up 100%. so that I know I'm done, I can see myself starting to add things back in. Like I think I'd start with watermelon and cantaloupe, maybe, because those are great breakfast foods for me. I just love those two fruits or vegetables. Which are they? Whatever they are. I would start adding those in. I doubt I'd ever go back to bread because I think bread is probably the bad guy. I really do think bread is probably the bad guy. And unfortunately, my wife bakes bread every day. So I get to sit there at the table and watch them cut open a hot loaf of bread and eat that. Um, I also love the biscuits that are there. You buy the biscuits and you cook them and they're flaky in the middle. I watched my son eat 4 of those today and about died. That's hard. That's the hardest part, isn't it, about being a carnivore is eating with people around you, eating all the things you used to eat and love to eat, pies and things like that. So, but yeah, I'm not. I don't. I love ribeyes. I just never get tired of them. Um, love the fat. I just I don't see myself changing.
Mm. So, when people are sitting around you, kind of eating the bread or the biscuits and that kind of thing, are those feelings getting weaker over time? Like you have, I guess, the cravings or the desire for those things. Is it over the 4 months? Has it become weaker?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think I wouldn't even call it a craving, Dave. I'd call it a remembrance. And yeah, I don't crave it. Yeah, I don't. Like she makes pizza. She'll make a pizza, with her own dough and everything else. And she'll say, "You want to buy it?" And I go, "No, I'm good. Looks good though, but no, I'm good." And I'll cut the fat off my steak and eat it. Yeah, no, it's a lot of things a lot of the things that have happened to me because of that. I don't see myself wanting to give those up for bread or whatever. And the other thing that happened to me, I'm always been skinny. I've been small all my life. I weighed 136 when I graduated. I weighed 138 when I started this, but I have always, in fact, I talked to my wife the other day about this. I said, I used to complain all the time about being bloated and feeling fat. I weighed 3 more pounds or 2 more pounds than I did in high school. But it's just when you lean over and when you're done eating, you feel bloated, you feel fat. I lost right in the first week. I think within 2 weeks, I dropped to 133. Just went right down 138, 137, 136. I was watching. I was weighing myself twice a day because I was curious. And I went right down to 33, and I've been standing between 133 and 134 and a half. Stay right there. Doesn't matter whether I weigh myself right after I eat or before I eat. It's the same. That feeling of not being bloated and that feeling of not ever feeling full and that feeling of never feeling fat when I bend over anything is incredible. In fact, I just went on eBay and ordered a bunch of 2 size smaller jeans and they fit into them perfect. I wore 30s in high school. I wear 29s now. Crazy. It's
Wow.
crazy.
That feeling of not being bloated is awesome, right?
It's an amazing feeling. And I never even realized you could never not feel that. Right. Like I look at my son, like he ate these 4 biscuits. They had fried eggs. We have chickens, so we like our eggs. I put a raw egg in my shake, but they had fried eggs and those biscuits. And I watched him eat those 4 biscuits and I go, "Dude, there's 2 biscuits left." He goes, "Oh, I'm stuffed." And I realized I just don't get stuffed. And I could eat, 20-ounce steak. I don't get stuffed. It's incredible feeling.
It's so strange to realize that feeling satiated when you're eating real nutritious food is so different to what we associate with satiation as we're growing up, right? It's like satiation growing up is not being able to buckle your pants or something,
Right? Yeah. I got to take my shirt out of my pants so I have room. No, never again. Never again. It's, yeah. And there's other things. I think my hair is turning dark again. Blows my mind. It's also thickening up, which crazy too. I may be dreaming that one, but I know it's definitely turning darker again. That may be because of I use collagen too, but in my shakes, but whichever, it's part of my diet now. So that's collagen gives me protein with a protein shake. So yeah, and there's other things. The elimination, the whole elimination thing has been, um, it's been a journey because I'm sure I've read and watched videos of people going through all kinds of stuff. On one end of it, it's full blown diarrhea. On the other side is full blown constipation. And I think that you could say I've never had diarrhea, but boy, I've been on the other side. Once every 3 or 4 days, like deer pellets, and you go, "This is weird," but so you start looking it up and they say, "Oh, this isn't weird. This is what happens when your body's changing over." But now we're back to normal, which is awesome. And the thing is, you don't have to, if we have another fake pandemic, oh wait, I can't say that. If we have another one of those virus things, we don't have to run out and buy all that toilet paper for me anymore. So it's amazing. It's just crazy
It's
stuff that happens.
I always like brought back to early 2020 when everyone's running around with shopping carts full to the brim with toilet paper and thinking
Down the right arrow.
we don't have to do that at all. We just fill our shopping cart up with meat and we're good.
One place. Just go to the meat, go to the milk, go out. That's it.
Mm.
And I've got a lady down the street whose husband passed a couple, 5, 6 years ago, but she raises cattle near us. I bought every ribeye she had, and they were awesome. I said, look, she didn't have any more ribeyes, I may go back and get her sirloins, but at the time I just thought, I just like the fat on the ribeyes, and the sirloins just don't have enough fat on them. So I said, look, next time you butcher a cow, keep as much of the fat as you can. I'll buy it all. And I'll buy every ribeye that you get. So, but because I don't like buying my steaks from, it's funny. We have 3 grocery stores in our little town. We're in Northwest Georgia, outside of Atlanta. We have 3 grocery stores in our little town. And actually one of them is the W word. I don't even want to, the guys from Arkansas. But they have the best steaks by far, which just blows my mind. So I walk in there, walk right over the meat department, I pick out all the best ones and go $150 at the thing just for steaks. That's the only thing I go in there for. I hate going in that store. But it's like going to Amazon. I hate going to Amazon, right? It was the same thing. I hate giving them money too, but man, they got the best steaks. So.
Wow. So, when you got started, because your wife and your younger son don't eat meat, what was the food preparation situation like in your household?
My wife she loves to cook. So she's always been the cook, except the boys cook, at least once each a night. I never did really. In fact, I hadn't cooked when we first met. We've been married 40 years next year. And when we first met, my wife couldn't boil water without messing it up. But she became the cook over time. And so I hadn't cooked at all. And all of a sudden here, I had to learn. I mean, I've always been the grill guy, like most husbands. I do the grill, but doing the grill, I got a black ant here. I don't like ants. What are you doing here, dude? He's done. Okay, it's too bad he's a lot bigger. I could eat him, right? Carve him up. I started having to cook, and so I cook my meals. I just tell them, I said, give me that 10 minutes, 15 minutes when y'all are going to be ready. Give me 15 minutes, and I've got a portable stainless grill out on the deck, hooked to a propane tank. It gets up to 700 degrees, and I keep a frying pan in it, cast iron pan, and I use the same grease for a week or two. I'll wipe it out, but I use the same stuff. I just let it sit in there. I close the lid, but I'll turn that thing on and get it up to 600 degrees, and then I cook everything in the pan just like that. I just drop it in, and fry it up. And so I cook all my own meals in that pan, and I hardly ever wash it. So and they do their deal. They do their deal. And then we all sit down, and the timing has become much better now. At first, they would be done eating and my steak would just about be done. But we've gotten it down to where after 4 months, we've gotten it down to where we're all on the same timing.
It's really nice to hear that even though you're eating differently, you're able to sit down at the same time and enjoy the meal together. Yeah.
I think that's crucial for a family. I think that's I was in my former lives. One of the things I did was personal coaching and business coaching. But one of the things I think is a big problem with people is they're not in families. Their families they don't even communicate half the time. And that shows up in people's lives. So dinner time is the time to sit and face to face with no electronics or anything and just have a good time, right? Enjoy your food. And even though the kids eat, like I say, the kids are 30s and one's 32, one's 25. So they're not kids anymore, but they're adults. But it's the time we sit down and if any of us have any issues, we get them out right then too. So it works out good. Yeah. I think it's very important.
Nice. So, has anyone outside of your family noticed the way you're eating and how have they reacted?
Well, I'm a loner. I live up on top of a mountain. We live up on top of a mountain. We're one of those, I was one of those right-wing conspiracy theorists before there was ever a label called that. You know what I mean? I did the turn of the 2000. I was worried about that. I was worried about the Mayan thing. And, I was the whole deal. I've always stored food, and I lived in sailboats. We lived on sailboats for 8 years because I knew that my self-contained home, I was good. I love sailing, but still my self-contained home, I was good. And then we went to RVs, the same thing. I was self-contained home. So, this place we're at now is, on a mountain, and we have our garden and chickens and all that stuff. I hardly ever even go down to town. I only take Shelly to the grocery store once a week, maybe. That's it. I don't go anywhere. So I don't really have any friends. I don't really want any, I guess. I do, but I don't want to put up with stuff. So, but the way that I get feedback is that we are selling this place. We've had it for sale for a while, and we're moving to West Virginia. So I get a lot of people coming out looking at the house. We've got 70 acres. So I got a lot of people looking at it, and I talk to all of them about Carnivore. I'm like a reformed smoker. You know, it is. Agent comes out yesterday. He's 77. He wanted to walk the 70 acres with his client and me. And I said, "You sure? Because we're on a mountain, right?" I said, "This is a mountain. We're going to go up and down, and it's not going to be easy. Cross some creeks. It's not going to be easy." He goes, "Oh, I'm fine." We had to stop 6 or 7 times and let him rest. He's all sweating. I thought he was going to die. So, of course, he gets the Carnivore thing for 30 minutes as he was leaving. I said, "You really need to. My doctor says I can't eat much meat." I said, "I'd fire your doctor, get another doctor. But I'm telling you, go watch Dave and listen to what he says." But everybody that gets anywhere close to me hears about Carnivore. And we have a YouTube channel too. So we've done, 3 or 4 videos about it. And it's interesting the comments I get from that, because most of our stuff is about projects we do around here and everything. So the Carnivore thing on our channel was kind of way out in right field or left field, or whichever field you want to be in. So, yeah.
So what kind of comments did you get?
Oh, it's like, I've been hearing about that. I think I'll try that. Or, "Wow, you look really good. Is that how come you can stay so young?" And, stuff like that. Good. All positive stuff. All positive stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's good. And I guess, when you're leading by example, that's the best way to influence people, right?
Yes, it is. Absolutely. That's the only way. It's the only way. Yeah. If you're authentic, then right away you're way ahead of most people, because most people are not. Most people are trying to be somebody they're not. They're trying to do something to be somebody, and it never works. Never, ever, never. You got to be who you are. And so if you're enjoying yourself, you're enjoying your life, and you look the part, then yeah, people appreciate that. People respond to that. So
Yeah. So, you're eating. You've got your shake in the morning and your ice cream in the evening, and then your ribeye
yep.
at dinner. That's all you're eating during the day?
Oh yeah, no snacks. I used to snack at midday. I was, potato chips, pretzel. Oh, I love hard pretzels, right? Hard pretzels. And then I was drinking too. Some. I love dark rum. So nothing like a dark rum with mango juice from South Africa. Oh man, and with a little 7 Up. Oh, goes down so good in the summer. So I was drinking two of those. I drink one before dinner, one with dinner. Oh, that's the other thing about carnivore. You don't drink with dinner anymore. I don't. I don't drink at all with dinner. It's just the steak. But no snacks. And I do eat some other things. I found I don't really like chicken anymore. So I don't eat chicken. I love bacon. So for a while there, I was on a bacon kick. I would do a pound of bacon and eat the whole thing, and then have a shake. And I eat hamburgers too, and venison. I eat some venison. I've got some venison in the freezer. A friend brought me. So I'll mix up a bunch of venison burgers and eat those too. Like I had 2 hamburgers at lunch yesterday. So, but it's not as good as a ribeye. Just mix it up a little bit, I guess, or what we already have in the freezer. It's when I first started, and I bet a lot of people do this. You watch videos, go, oh, how to make mashed potatoes with pork rinds, right? Or something like that. So I've got all these stupid pork rind crumbles and stuff in my pantry that I'm never going to use because I'm never going to make that stuff. I don't need it. If I want mashed potatoes, I'll just eat some mashed potatoes. I'm not going to go through the pork rind thing. So I went overboard and spent all this stuff watching people's videos going, oh, that looks easy to make. No, you sit there with eggs and egg whites and eggs and whites, and you try to scramble them, and then you make rice out of them. What? So yeah, I got all that stuff, but I've never made it. So that's another thing, is that when you first start, I think you think that you need to, you think you're going to get bored, or you think you're going to get, bored, I guess is the word, with the food. You think the food's going to get monotonous, but I don't think it does. I don't think it does. I mean, who's the big, tall guy who's the doctor who's been on it 8 years? That's all. He just has a steak every day. That's all he eats. But he'll eat 32 ounces at a time, but he's 6'4" too.
Yeah. It's a big change in perspective, right? And until you've actually done this way of eating, you can't really understand, because life is all about variety and balance and options and stuff. And so anything that's not that just seems impossible.
Yeah, we've been taught the whole thing, right? The whole food pyramid upside down. But that goes right back to the right wing conspiracy thing, right? Everything you've been told our whole lives is probably a lie. And now I look at everything. Oh, everything I've been told is a lie. And just look at it that way, and then try to figure out what's true and what's not. And you go, yeah, we've been told, oh, you got to eat all these different things. No, you don't. No, you don't. In fact, that's bad for you. It's like, these people are crazy. So, but if you tell somebody that, they're going to say, no, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Until they reach a point where they've got no choice. Because like me, with my psoriasis, I would never, 5 months ago, I would never have even imagined eating just steaks and or proteins. I would never. That would be the farthest thing from my mind. And if somebody had come up to me and said, you should just eat meat all day, I'd go, you're crazy, right? But here we are.
So I've got my little theory about balance, the word balance. It's this get out of jail free card, because when we say, when these experts say, you need to have a balanced diet, what they're saying, they're not really saying anything to you, right? They're painting a picture in your mind about what you interpret that how you want to interpret it, right? Yeah. So you're thinking, okay, so that means if I eat, 2 bowls of ice cream, as long as I offset that with, 2 carrots, then that's
That's
gonna be okay, right?
right, right.
And so it's open to interpretation, but then, if you say, "Well, this balance thing's not working for me," the person that gave you the advice has got the out. Well, obviously it just wasn't balanced enough. You need to balance it better next time
Right,
or something
right.
like that.
Yep,
So
yep.
that's my little theory.
Yeah, but of course now anytime anything comes in the house that anybody's eating, first thing I do is go read all the ingredients, and I point it out to them. I say, "Oh, look at what you're eating." And you think that's healthy for you, and you and like my boys, my one son, he's fine. He's like built like me. He can eat like I did my whole life. You can eat and drink, do whatever you want. It makes no difference. Now, my other son is different. He's a little heavier, not big yet, but he could be easily. He's got horrible habits like I think 3 or 4 or 5 root beers every day, that kind of stuff. That stuff's going to kill him. I keep trying to get to him, but not going to happen. And I love my wife dearly, and I would love to see her. She works so hard at staying fit and trim, and she's still gorgeous. But I think I would love just to be able to see for a second, or give just 2 months of carnivore, what that would do for her. But it would take a lot, because the story of why she doesn't eat meat is not just, oh, I don't want to kill animals. It's got to do with a pet we had, a dog we had, and who got really sick, and she watched him. Once she saw that go through that was she quit eating the day after that, and she never eaten meat again. So, but I would love to see her. I think it would help her health tremendously. But
Yeah.
at our age, you're not beating your wife up at 40 years old. I send her lots
Yeah.
of stuff on the internet, though. I don't know if she even looks at them, but yeah.
Yeah. So someone comes to you and says, "Look, Miami, how do I get onto carnivore and stick with it?" What advice would you give them?
I would find out what they like. Do you like steaks? Do you like meat? Well, if you were going to eat, if you had your choices of meats, because you can eat dairy, but you can't live on dairy. You got to have meat. So, do you like meat? Do you like steaks? And and then I would find out, okay, do you like fat? Have you ever eaten the fat off the steaks, and see where they are, right? And then I think if they agreed to liking steaks and liking the fat, I'd say, well, here's what's going to blow your mind: is the fat is what you need. The fat's almost better than the steak. And when you figure out that all you need is the meat with a little salt on it and nothing else, it's going to be quite the eye opener for you. So what I would suggest you do is buy the best meat you can afford, and then uh, cook it to the way. Practice. It's going to take practice to figure out how you like it, whether you like it rare, medium rare, however you like it, what you liked it cooked in. But I would start off with ribeyes if you could, or I like ribeyes better than fillets actually. But I would start off with ribeyes or sirloins, good quality meat, and then I would make sure you sear it real well, and then cut all that fat off and fry that fat and use that as a dessert almost. And then make up your mind that you're not going to that you will follow the thing for a minimum amount of time. And I would call that time at least 60 days, but probably 90 days, because that's my psoriasis is 95% gone, but I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to even introduce anything new until it's all gone completely, because that's why I started. So find out why you're doing it. Like, is it weight? What is it? Is it diabetes? Is it whatever it is? Find out what it is, and then decide you're going to do that, and then stay on it. And as you stay on it, I think you'll get better and better and better, because you'll practice your cooking. You'll figure out whether you need 1 meal a day or 2 meals a day. You'll figure out when, because like really, if I was alone and I didn't have the meal times, I would eat 1 meal a day. I would eat one huge meal, probably around 2 o'clock, something like that. I would fast from that right on around. So I'd be fasting whatever that is, 20 hours, 22 hours. And then, and I think I would uptake my water more, but I would only eat one meal a day. But I can't do that. I could, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to eat with my family. So the shakes work good for me. But that's what I think I would say. I would say, figure out what meat you want, figure out how you want to cook it, realize it's not going to happen right away, realize there's going to be challenges, and stay at it. Don't give up.
Nice. So, how can we get in contact? You mentioned a YouTube channel. Do you have any? Can you talk about that? And also, do you have any other social media?
Don't do social media anymore. I mean, I watch it. That's where I get my news from Gab, if you know what that is. But our channel is Follow the Phillips on YouTube. That's my last name's Phillips. Look, you got it right under there. Yeah, just so Follow the Phillips. So we've done a lot of projects. We built this house. We didn't build the house. We bought a 40-year-old house and then put a lot of money in it because we were going to stay here forever. And then we, because my son's a YouTuber, he's a gamer, very popular gamer, which allows us to do these things. So we just document all of our projects, like putting in solar and building a natural swimming pool and building our garden and the chickens and all the stuff we've done. So I have a sawmill out there, so we saw up our own wood and all that kind of stuff. So that's what all that's about.
Awesome. So I'll link to your channel below.
Cool.
Miami,
Thanks.
thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story with us. I really appreciate your time.
Well, I've enjoyed it. I hope you. It's funny because the very first video I think I saw of yours was the one where you said, "Hey, if anybody's interested, let me know." So I said, "Well, that's weird." I get on this video and the guy's asking, so God's telling me I need to email him and say hello. So yeah, I've enjoyed it, Dave, and let me hope you do well. I know you're passing out some good information. It's great information and it needs to get out there. So I appreciate it.